Are we just, this is just somebody walking around. And we're calling it paranormal? Okay. What the hell? Okay, I see TikTok is absolutely complete garbage.
Have you all noticed all the planes going down the last 2 days and completely unrelated, not relevant at all the earthquakes and the floods and the weather at the same exact time? We'll get right back to the unrelated planes. Everything you're seeing behind me happened in the last 12 hours. It's not just the US, the entire world is underwater. Pakistan, and what you just saw was Pakistan. It's insane over there. We're about to look at Russia and China and other places in 1 second. This is China. What in the world is going on where the whole earth floods at the same exact time? I wonder what's up besides planes. In Russia, they got the most rain they've had since 1870s.
You know, this stuff is actually crazy that there's this amount of water being spilled every which way. People don't think that the weather is potentially being manipulated. It's very, very possible and very, very probable that it is.
And I'm sure if you remember all the 1 in 1,000 year storms in the US all the same exact week. But do you remember all the earthquakes that were right around Russia and Alaska? Indonesia. Did you know that 2 or 3 more earthquakes were added to that list since then? And then, yeah, remember the plane that just spontaneously combusted in the sky? And then Alaska had to ground all of their planes for what they say was an IT thing. Of course, it's not relevant. And then away from Alaska and Russia, we had a plane go down in Bangladesh and 19 people so far passed away. Now, completely unrelated from both the planes and the floods and the earthquakes, cool fact, people on Twitter are complaining of a very strange low humming or buzzing sound. They say they can feel the vibration of the buzz in their spine. By the way, check out these awesome clouds in the UK. Oh, and don't forget to watch Ukraine where all the locusts were. Why? You'll see.
I definitely don't want to hear about planes going down.
The system wasn't built for you to win. You went to school to memorize facts you never use. You were trained to raise your hand, wait your turn, and follow instructions. Then they told you, get a job, work 40 hours a week, give half of it to tax, retire at 67 if you're lucky. That's not a life. That's a script. And most people don't question it because they're too tired from living it. But once you see it, you can't unsee it. That's when you realize freedom was never going to be handed to you. You have to build it. And that's why I teach digital products, because ownership is the only way out. No boss, no begging, no clocking. You move different when you know the system was never designed to serve you. It was designed to use you. Break the script or stay stuck in it.
Simpsons control our future. This theory suggests that the creators of The Simpsons are part of an elite group with knowledge of future events. It reveals show's uncanny ability to predict real-world events, sometimes years in advance, is not mere coincidence but rather a deliberate effort to manipulate public perception and prepare the world for a predetermined future. Theorists point to specific episodes that seemed to predict future events with eerie accuracy. For example, they claim that the episode Bart to the Future, aired in 2000, foresaw Donald Trump's presidency, and the Homer Simpson in 3D episode from 1995 predicted the rise of virtual reality technology. The guest appearances of various celebrities on the show, particularly those who later became involved in significant world events, are not coincidental. Supporters claim that these appearances are part of a coordinated effort to influence global affairs. The Simpsons have the connection with time travel, allowing the creators to glimpse the future and incorporate it into the show.
Listen up, because this is important. Your phone's not just listening, it's learning you. Most people know their phones listen to them, but it's deeper than that. It tracks your pauses,
It's
your tone,
AI.
your micro reactions, what you click, what you don't click, what makes your eyes widen, even for a second. Your data isn't just collected, it's interpreted. It learns how to keep you hooked, how to shape your mood. You think you're in control of your feed. It's in control of you. They don't need to censor you if they can quietly program what you believe.
And now we also have Xfinity that can actually be used to track the motion inside your own home. Lucky us.
You know how people say life doesn't feel real ever since 2020?
Yeah.
Well, look, it's because it isn't. For the decades leading up to 2020, there was something going on that the general public never could have expected. Certain aspects of our technology weren't only just providing services for us, they were planning a dramatic shift of consciousness. Google Earth, for the last 25 years, has been creating a completely digitized, three-dimensional blueprint of the entire planet, a perfect database of 3D tracked images of what our external world looks like. While all of our devices that were inside the home, riddled with cameras, have been slowly building back-end digitized replicas of what our households look and feel like. Silently, this siphoned visual information was being harnessed to build a massive digitized replica of our world inside and out, a kind of complex virtual reality that perfectly mimics the real one. Our digital footprints were used to create hyper-realistic digital avatars in this world that look and feel just like us. This virtual reality was being...
Whoa.
1 in a Million, Part 7. On the right is the facial reconstruction of a 9,000-year-old skeleton that was found in a cave in Cheddar, England.
Is that Harvey Keitel?
His DNA was tested, and researchers found that a living relative was teaching history class only a half-mile away from the site, linking back 300 generations. Out of the 40,000 windows within the Twin Towers, only one of them survived 9/11. It's believed to have come from the 82nd floor of the South Tower, one of the 9 floors that was struck by the second plane. The first person to die during the construction of the Hoover Dam was surveyor J.G. Tierney on December 20th, 1922. On the same exact day, 14 years later, the last person died. It was J.G.'s son, Patrick Tierney. Uncombable hair syndrome is an extremely rare condition that literally makes the hair impossible to comb. It currently affects less than 100 people across the globe. A married couple from China discovered that they were in the same photograph as teenagers more than a decade before they even met. On July 4th, 1826, President John Adams' last words before dying were, "Thomas Jefferson survives." But little did he know, President Jefferson had died just hours earlier that same exact day. Not to mention it was
What?
exactly 50 years after the Declaration of Independence was passed.
Weird.
I've read every fucking theory on how they built those pyramids. The Great Pyramid of Giza has 2,300,000 stones in it. Some of them they weigh between 2 and 80 tons. Some of them are cut from a quarry that's hundreds of miles away. These things that pyramid is shaped perfectly. Like, if you fucked up like a quarter inch there, a half inch here, by the time you get to the top, that thing's a mess. But meanwhile, it's not. It's perfect. It's also perfectly aligned to true north, south, east, and west. And they're not really sure how old it is. They think they date it to 2,500 BC, but that's just because of organic particles that they pulled from inside stones. But they also say that they probably could have sealed those stones and resealed those stones over time. You're dealing with like a gigantic mystery of unfathomable proportion. The Titanic never sunk, and I will tell you why. J.P. Morgan, the famous banker, owned the Titanic, but he also owned 2 other ships, the Olympic and the Britannic. Now, the Olympic was older, beat up, and not making any money. Allegedly, the theory says, Morgan swapped the Olympic with the Titanic before its first voyage. They painted it, changed the name, and sent it off. The reason was because of insurance. The Olympic was a problem, so sinking it for the insurance money was the perfect fix. And here is the suspicious part. Morgan, who was supposed to be on the Titanic, canceled last minute, but unfortunately for his biggest business rivals, they were on board when it sank. None of them survived it. It sounds convenient, doesn't it? And about the evidence.
Oh, a little bit.
People have pointed out differences between the Titanic and Olympic that survivors noticed. Things didn't add up. So what's the truth? Was it a tragic accident or a planned disaster to get rid of a financial problem in some competition? Maybe the real story is hidden under the ocean or buried with the secrets of history. This is just a theory, not a fact.
This theory was debunked years ago. The Titanic hull number was seen on the propeller blade 401. It's just funny that how that one blade is on show how hard would it be to have to switch the propellers. It's funny no one ever mentioned the boilers now that will not be so easily switched when the conspiracy comes out. We had really good and clear pictures of the boilers, but not one showed the boiler number. The two ships all had boilers right, and each boiler had a unique number on it, so it's of its own, so why no picture? Oh, and it's funny, in 1935, when the Olympic was sold, her boilers were among the first to be melted down. Interesting. Okay, we have some Uncanny Valley. Weird. Weird.